All right, this is the third or fourth time I've tried to do this. I keep messing things up. Things keep getting screwy. I don't know, I'm starting to reconsider this whole idea of doing a video devlog, but anyway, we'll give her one more kick at the can. Hello, welcome. My name's Ryan. I'm the guy making this video game, SAMOOBSLUGOWA. It's a laundromat management simulator, point and click typographic adventure. That's what I'm going with so far. Anyway, doing some updates. I got a whole ground up overhaul in the works, and this is what it looks like. Biggest point of user feedback so far has been about the visuals. I don't expect everyone to understand ASCII graphics or text-based graphics. That's fine, but we definitely can make a better use of the real estate on the screen. So we've got some adaptive CSS going on, and it looks good in all kinds of screen sizes here. I've got mine maxed out right now just for full effect. But anyway, so that's the thing we've been working on. Another thing with the UI focus has been some hovering action. So you'll see here now on the nav bar, the topmost strip that goes from location to location. Whenever I hover over a possible movement candidate, it'll give me a little readout of how many minutes that'll take, right? So we can see that happen right now. Pow. And you'll see the clock advance 8 minutes as I move. It also made little sound effects, which I retained from the original too. Another thing you'll notice down here is that there's no more pockets. The word pockets has been removed, and we've got this sleeker hiding inventory now, which I like a little better. So clicking on those double chevrons will open it up, and it shows you how much space you got in your inventory. It shows you what those items are when you hover over them. So you can take a look at what you got in your inventory. You got a little bit of space left, so you can do some calculations for other stuff you might find on the screen. To use an item, you just click it. Now you're using it. But I got to go over here to use it. So let's walk on over here. So I'm going to walk on up to the door. Oh, geez, I've triggered something. This is the game's way of telling you that you're having some kind of event in the body. It's a signal that you're getting from the body, and it looks like it's happening in the head. It's a flashback. So the way that these things work is that the longer you play the game, you'll trip these little flashback sequences, and they're kind of like the memories that your character has that you can uncover that will change the way your character acts the more they learn about themselves or remember, I suppose. I'm calling it backwards branching narrative. So here we get a little bit of a narrative sequence that occurs. I see the tiny glimmer of a bug's jeweled carapace, yada yada yada. I've got some explanatory text that accompanies this version. You'll notice here too, I also tripped this thing. So as I was saying here, sometimes your memory can actually trigger little secrets and little things that you can pick up. So right here, you'll notice that this word is different than the others. There's also a little bit of a glitching, twitchy effect applied there too to make it jump out a little bit, and it's a little bit more bold. So let's see what happens when I click on it. Okay, it's gone a little bit glitchy and strange. Maybe that'll make sense later. Anyway, the main point of these screens is to give you a little glimmer of a memory that your character is experiencing, and then you, the player, can determine whether or not that is a true memory and apply some change to your character based on this memory, or say false, which will alter the details of the memory slightly. Let's see what happens here. So once again, up top, instead of the location, we've got the time, a roughly approximation of when the memory occurs. So, and then the memory is changed slightly. I see the tiny glimmer of a bug's jeweled carapace, blah, 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 blah. I've never seen a bug quite like this before. It was made out of letters. Interesting. Let's keep her going here. No, this bug is made out of more than letters. There are whole words, spiraling, interlocked, shifting language making up the bug's movements. Leaning in and squinting a little, I can read them, but I don't understand them. The words read, "Me no boxed secret." Interesting. Okay. Well, as you can see, I've exhausted all of my false options. I'm not sure whether or not I want to tie that into some kind of stat so that you can kind of use those up as you go along, but maybe it's an idea. So I'll just click true, and I'm transported back to the place where the memory occurred, having undergone some change that is not necessarily surfaced to the player at this juncture. But we did learn something. That phrase, "me no boxed secret," I have a feeling is gonna be important here at some point. So as I was trying to show you before that memory occurred, this is the way that you use inventory. I'm now using this key. I've used it to unlock the door here, which then activates the push bar. And then we have given access over to the laundromat, which I haven't plugged in. I don't have any functionality here. I want to show you one more thing before we go, and that is by backing out of this location and going to another one. I'm going to change this. I've just got some basic stuff. I don't have any of the sub locations. You might have noticed that this hasn't changed over yet. But anyway, bus station is accessible to us. Here we are. There's nothing really clickable here except for this fella who is kind of sitting over in the distance, and he's got a strange little animation going on. So this is how you identify NPCs that are in your vicinity in that location. They're going to appear here. If there were more of them, they would be stacked up on top, and I'm thinking of opening up a little column on the other side to do the same sort of thing for when there's too many. So let's see what this guy has to say. Okay, and that opens up the dialog NPC interaction screen. So this is a big chunk of the game, and this guy's got a lot of stuff to say about how the game works and how this system functions in particular. But I can give you the gist of it. Anything in boxes are words that you can say. You'll notice that that word that I found earlier, secret, is here. It's been added to my vocabulary because I found that in a memory. I clicked on it. It did the little glitchy thing. It's now in my permanent memory. That might be a thing that is manipulable by in-game actions. I think we're going to have some kind of memory stat. Regardless, what he's telling you is that in order to interact with him, you are going to mix and match words that he says, plus the words that you started with, and the words that you find in various places, be they maps or memories or anywhere else in the game. This is where your vocabulary renders. Now, when you're talking to people, the way to say stuff is by just clicking the thing. So I'm going to say to this fella, hello, yes, me understand secret. And I have entered that sentence. You'll notice there's no undo button. This is intentional. And he says, try something else. So that means he's not quite getting it. And he's got the face of abject disgust over here. This gives you a clue that he's not happy with it. So I'll say, understand, no, yes. Nope, I don't know what that is. But now, if I do recall that there was some kind of message in my memory about a bug. I believe it was yes, me, no, boxed secret. And fortunately, because he said the word boxed here, I am able to assemble yes, me, no, boxed secret. And I'll say that to the fellow right now, which makes him, oh, sorry, I think that it was me, no. You know what? I've messed that up. Let me go back and retry that again. Me, no, boxed, secret. Pow. And there we go. We've got a happy NPC over there because I just solved his little puzzle. And here we are. That's your basic tour around some of the game mechanics I've incorporated here. As you can see, we're going to have these interactions with NPCs kind of dictating real-time or sort of game action. And then we have these flashback sequences sort of extending back into your player character's mysterious, foggy past. Interesting point of the game is that each time everyone talks about procedurally generated worlds. We're doing procedurally generated characters, and that's going to create the difference. The world is more or less the same with minor proc-gen characteristics here and there. The main thing being your character. Every time you play, you're going to have a different person with a different body, different memories, different stuff, who lives in a different place, and that's going to change things. You're going to have different relationships with all the different NPCs we got. Anyway, I could go on all day talking about what it could be and what it will be, but here's what I've got so far. Some new UI, some fancy CSS, some nice systems for interacting with NPCs, and some little storytelling flashback mechanics. Thank you very much. This has been your tour of SAMOOBSLUGOWA by Ryan, and we'll talk soon. Okay, bye.